music.
Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here with us tonight. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking the time, whether it be your first time, your last time. Thank you for taking this time to be here with us tonight on Timeouts and Tangents. I am your host, AP, and we're going to be joined here shortly by a couple of amazing guests to go deep into LSU baseball, and I mean deep. Hey, Nick, I see you. Continue to blame me. Thank you. That's why I call it Timeouts and Tangents, okay? I was going on a pre-show tangent, which I'm about to get into right now. I know we're supposed to talk about baseball, but I cannot let this go without being said. Matt Moscona is the name when it comes to Baton Rouge and LSU sports. He's been doing it longer. He has the most reach. He produces the most amount of content around LSU. And I've met Matt personally a couple of times. He's a really nice guy. But because of the amount of content he produces, there will be opportunities for him to get a lot of things wrong more so than he gets right. But sometimes his takes can be completely asinine. And he did a show last night on Locked On LSU. And it had one of the most asinine takes I have heard in a while. He basically goes over how LSU is not in on five-star quarterback Elijah Haven from the Dunham School. And primarily his fear, and he was editorializing, basically making his own opinion, his own assumptions, that it could stem from what took place with Bryce Underwood and how at the last minute Michigan came in with the big bag and flipped him from LSU. Matt, simply put, you're overthinking this one. Or maybe you're just not thinking about it enough, because that's absolutely stupid. If you look at who LSU has committed to them right now, it is Pop Houston, Peyton Houston, quarterback out of Evangel. A kid who has collectively thrown for almost 90 touchdowns. And yes, Elijah Haven has thrown for almost 160 total touchdowns running and throwing. Great, fantastic. I'll get to that in a second. Pop Houston is the quarterback who received an offer from Lane Kiffin when he was in middle school. He was the first offer he received from an SEC school was from Lane Kiffin. Guess who coaches LSU? Lane Kiffin. I don't know if you've realized this yet, but Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss to come to LSU. You've been saying the entire time, Matt, because like I say, I consume your content. You've been saying, and everyone else along with you has been saying, the difference between LSU and Ole Miss is the dirt. You recruit the dirt. Pop Houston chose LSU when we still had Brian Kelly as the head coach. You can't sit up here and tell me that you truly believe that Brian Kelly is a better developer of quarterbacks than Lane Kiffin. Cannot be the case. So why would Pop Houston pick LSU? I don't know. Maybe because it's the same reason Harlem Berry did. He just wanted to go to LSU. Why did Lane Kiffin decide to come to LSU? Because he realized exactly the difference between recruiting from Ole Miss and LSU. And he put pen to paper, he put belt to ass, and showed you this in the transfer portal in less than a month. So now we're going to sit up here and say, well, LSU's not in on Elijah Haven because he might flip. No, how about we're not in on Elijah Haven because, I don't know, we have the quarterback that they actually want. Forget star rankings. And I know all the things that Elijah Haven does, and that's no slight to him at all. He's a phenomenal quarterback, a great young man, a good kid. But at the end of the day, at the end of it all, he is not what Lane Kiffin wants to build his offense around. If he were, do you really think he would not be in on him? We just saw Lane Kiffin try to go after Damon Williams in the same manner of having Sam Levitt sitting courtside. So do we really think he's not going to go after two high school quarterbacks at the same time? Like, come on, man. Let's be realistic about this for a quick second. Elijah Haven is a fantastic quarterback. But I can tell you this, I don't think he's better than Peyton Houston. I've seen Peyton Houston against elite competition live with my own eyes. He is a difference maker. Unlike Elijah Haven, he has to go through, I don't know, Catholic of Baton Rouge to get to the state championship. He has to go through Edna Carr High School to get to the state championship. Maybe if he didn't have to go through those high caliber teams, he would have won a state title like one Elijah Haven has. Elijah Haven's playing up against Warren Easton's JV team on Friday nights. So let's get this together for a second. I don't want to hear any talk about who this staff is in or out on, especially when it comes to quarterback. You have the coach. You paid him $91 million, so trust the coach. Be careful with the media that we're consuming. And like I said, I know that Matt is the biggest media person out there, and I know that he's going to make a lot of mistakes. But this take here, I personally do not agree with. So, with that being said, thank you for allowing me to get that off my chest. I definitely appreciate it. This tangent was brought to you by myself because we have no sponsors. So let's get on with the real show tonight. I'm bringing in my guys, Paul Jarrett and David Billiot. Please, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy them for the content that they're bringing. Enjoy them for the baseball knowledge and expertise that they're about to display to y'all. Enjoy this night as we prepare ourselves for what's about to happen. We are literally one day, 17 hours, and 50 minutes away from first pitch. Paul and David, thank you both for being on the show.
There's nothing to talk about, right? Y'all want to talk basketball?
Yeah, fire Matt McMahon. Basketball over with.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. How y'all feeling tonight, guys?
Antsy.
Yes, excited. It's like Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I keep posting this one gif of Will Ferrell clip from Eastbound and Down. I could feel it down in my blood.
Down in my lungs.
Let the boy watch.
I can feel it. Make sure, guys, to go and follow Paul and David. Go hit the button. Let's run their numbers up. Let's go support them. They got some fire content coming out. So let's get this thing started right, fellas. I know everybody's going to want to talk about the pitching. I don't want to talk about that. So let's start off with the field. Who's playing where?
All right, so I'm gonna let David go first because he's gonna. I want to hear David's take. He's seen my take, unfortunately, the cheater. So I want David to go first.
That's called that.
To be fair, I did not open it. Well, like I opened it that one. I texted you about the one thing, but I didn't want to cheat. So that's exactly. Where we start? Infield, outfield. I mean, we could start outfield. It's the easiest answer in the world.
Outfield is the easiest.
We can just get that out the way. It's Chris.
Tell me who's going to be sitting where on the bench. That's what I want to know, Billiot. I want to know every position.
Gavin Guidry's gonna be close to Jay. We saw that last year. No, outfield, we know it's Stanfield left, it's Curriel center, it's Jake Brown right. We know it's pretty much, you could say 2.5 of your 3 returners from last year since Jake Brown started half the games, but that's what it is in the outfield. There's no doubt that it's cut and dry right now. I mean, do you see it any other way?
I don't see it any other way. I later on in the season, I hate saying this because I love Stanny. I truly do. He's a batting average machine. He's a hits machine. But I could, seeing scrimmages and just, I try not to listen to too much baseball talk because, in all honesty, no one really knows what
Right.
Jay is thinking. But I could see him kind of doing more of a on righties in the end of the season, having Daniel Harden. But you got to see how he progresses through midweeks because I think you're going to see a very separate delineation of guys between midweek and weekend guys this year. I think it's going to be very separate. I think he has enough talent to where he can get a lot of guys a lot of work and on the midweek games.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's plenty of guys you got to get out there, like you said, and you've mentioned it before. Tax day, you're going to see a lot of changes, but I think opening day, and then it was something would have to change significantly for me if even on SEC opening day that it's not those three because we know
Yeah.
they can do it. That's the thing for me.
Until further notice, Stanfield left, Curiel center, Jake Brown right. Notarize it, pay your taxes, make the
Yeah,
investment. It's easy.
like Alec Box Warrior just said in the chat, 3 center fields, man, it's crazy to think about. Like you are absolutely right. Like we have
It's
3
insane.
legit SEC MLB caliber center fielders playing in the outfield. I cannot. And LaCabra says best outfield in college baseball.
I would
mean,
venture to say the fastest outfield in college baseball.
Yeah,
I mean,
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm about to say to have an elite level outfield, you got to have elite level speed. And
Right.
Do
you
we
can
want to go
lose-
down that rabbit hole that everybody got into this week with the
Oh.
best outfield in LSU baseball history, or we want to avoid that? Because that was kind of a graveyard. It's kind of dumb.
Let's say, yeah, I was say let's save that for a later time. LaCabra says in the chat, Daniel Harding can really hit the ball and press during preseason, just hard to find the playing time. Where do y'all see him? Like, is he like the first off the bench guy that you're putting in for someone in the outfield, or is there somebody in front of him?
Patrick
It
has been great.
depends. Yeah, I was gonna say it depends on what Jay does with Mason Braun. If he wants to get him to, that's a name you got to watch. But he could play different positions. He could get in there different ways. DH, first base. So that's what I was thinking right before you asked that. AP is if late in the game, if you got a tough righty on the mound, that is nice to have. We know our starters, but it is nice to have a guy like Daniel Harden that you could say, hey, like, go up there from the left side of the box and face this matchup that's tougher on Chris Stanfield, and you're not going to lose much when he goes into the outfield either. Like it's a nice luxury to have.
And it's going to be like Dave was talking about. Say you have a tough righty on the mound. Say you have a tough lefty. Then you could possibly looking at. I'm not putting this degree on Jake Brown, but he had struggles in the platoon work against lefties last year to a point. He wasn't struggling the whole time. But that's when you have a guy like Patrick come off or Harden. Well, not Harden. Patrick. Actually, he's a righty. Braun and Harden are both lefties. Jake's a lefty. Currier's a lefty. So that's when you may not touch Stanfield. You may go get Jake Brown. But I don't think there's going to be a lot of situations like that this year.
Do we think Jake Brown has improved his hitting against left-handers?
Only one way to find out. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I was going to say, I personally believe it was a little bit overblown last year. I thought it early on, he struggled a little bit. And then Jay just went to that platoon and he never really got a chance to prove himself, at any time, like throughout, like all the way into Omaha. I mean, like Josh Pearson started game 1, against Zach Root and against Arkansas. And it's not like Jake was just like flailing anytime he would see a lefty. He can still hit the ball. So I think it was more of just, hey, we have Josh Pearson and he's a little bit better at it, whether you can argue that or not, and not trust. I trust Jake Brown's skill set, me personally. So I thought it was a little bit overblown, and it was just because of the situation and who they had. So I'm not concerned about it, honestly.
And you also had Jake Brown fighting against Ethan Fry and Josh Pearson. And Ethan Fry, both being righties, they're going to see better pitches off the left-handed guy. Jake Brown has a limited pitch selection against a lefty because he's at a disadvantage. So I think we beat the outfield in a little bit.
Let's move to the infield then. Who's third? Because
Go ahead, Paul.
well,
Caraway.
who's third? Caraway.
Caraway.
Okay.
Caraway.
And if you know what, I'm gonna pull up Paul's handy dandy little graphic since we're here,
Oh crap.
and we're gonna share this right now.
Here's a before you show this. This is a righty perfect example, perfect conditions opening day starting lineup in my eyes.
So this is Friday against a righty.
I would say so, yeah.
All right. So Caraway at third and Dardar at second with Simpson at first. So how we feeling about that?
It's pretty
Come on,
much
Dave.
what I have. I have Simpson and York just swapped position wise. I think York plays first base, but that's the two that I have in. I have Simpson at DH. It's pretty much the exact same.
What gives you the edge for York over Simpson, David?
I believe York's actually a very good first baseman. He can move. He's 6'2", 295, but he doesn't move like he's 6'2", 295, believe it or not. I mean, if he does, it's like a NFL offensive lineman. He's athletic. You know, it'll surprise you. He's not there. I've said this before. He's not at first base just because he's a big guy. He's at first base and he just happens to be a big guy. He can play it. And Simpson's like, he's played it before, but I trust. I think Zach York's your first baseman. Just
And I know I'm
because
gonna get killed because York, that graphic just come out showing York a top 50 first baseman in the country, and Simpson's a top 50 second baseman in the country. The only reason I went this route is it kind of reminds me of Luis Hernandez. In the beginning of the year, Jay was looking for anybody to take time off his knees to get Luis time with the bat. That's why you can say underperformed at the plate, but he didn't. He just, your legs get taxed as a catcher. With York having the ability to DH and play first, I think whenever Cerna comes in to catch and move Beatty to DH, that's when I see him get more in the field. I agree with David, though. York could be a great first baseman. I think he will be a great first baseman. But I think he's trying to put more power in the field. And a guy like Dardar, who's been ripping the cover off the ball the past few weeks, kind of played himself into that role. And I think Reeves kind of stays in that Ben Nipple 2.0 kind of role to start the season.
Okay, not much disagreement then. So
Milam's not moving. Beatty's your starting catcher. I do believe Cerna will be attached to a part of the rotation. He will get a lot of the midweek work as well because that pitcher-catcher relationship is just so very important. So I think but Cerna and Beatty will kind of rotate back there, and God forbid no injuries. That'll be your lineup.
who rotates in for Dardar and Caraway? Is it Reeves playing both third and second to rotate with both of those guys?
Reeves at second. Simpson will play second too. Like Paul just said, he was listed as a top 50 second baseman, which is crazy considering that he played third base at High Point. He played second. He's played them all, but he primarily played third base at High Point, and then he gets listed as a top 50 second baseman. That speaks to his skill set. But the guy we haven't mentioned to watch at third base, especially if Caraway struggles at all, is John Pearson. You gotta keep him. He's easily forgotten.
At first too.
Yeah, at first too. Like they're very versatile all around. Like Paul said, Milam's at short. He's not moving. They have 5 games in the first 6 days, and it's possible that those other 3 positions on the infield have a different guy in the starting lineup every single day.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll have 5 different lineups in 6 days. 100%.
Okay. Well, look, Harper says in the chat, Cerna gonna catch midweek like Beatty did last year. Paul, I'm not gonna put up your post in the chat because you can say it, but go ahead and say what you put in the chat.
But that's just what I said earlier was I think Cerna gets attached to a person in the rotation or a group of guys in the rotation to give Beatty that break because you look at a guy like Malazzo, you look at a guy like Luis last year, catching every day. You don't have the Mike Piazzas anymore,
Right.
and they need that break from their legs. Um, I pick on catchers being down on one knee or both knees now all the time because if that happened when I was playing, I'd have got killed. But um, it takes a lot of your knees and it takes a lot of your power out. Look at a guy like Luis. So much of his power got drained from having to catch every day and just getting beat up with every game. So I think he wants to kind of keep Beatty because he's talked so high about Beatty. He wants to keep him healthy.
And he's also going from a part-time catcher last year, so it's just like we talk about pitchers going from a relief role to a starting role. They got to get used to the workload themselves. So you're also managing it with him also getting used to it all at the same time.
Okay.
Oh, 100%.
So I know I paid attention to this a little bit more so when we were on the run with Skeens in 23. And I remember Jay vividly saying Skeens like to throw with certain catchers. And that's kind of when I picked up on that pitcher catcher relationship. Are we seeing any of these pitchers pairing up with the catcher through any of these scrimmages so far?
No, I'm not.
No, he's rotated him a lot. I would say that the other guys, like Cerna, like Eddie Yaman, they've caught, I would say, a little bit more than Aaron Beatty during the preseason, huh, Paul? I mean, and I think that's purely just to manage the workload.
Well, it's kind of skewed from last weekend, right? Because Beatty took that foot off
Yeah.
that ball off the foot, and Jay yanked him. I mean, at this rate, who was that? That was Simpson who caught after Beatty went out to kind of spell Yaman at first, let him get some reps at first. Like you had Braden
Yeah.
Simpson catching.
Hmm.
He's not gonna be behind the plate unless all hell breaks loose this year. So you're not gonna have that right now. They're developing that relationship, that chemistry away from the public view. So, and one thing I love about it though is you hear a guy like York on mic'd up, or you hear Nate Yeski with Eadsy, that this chemistry and this team has been being built since before the fall. That as soon as these guys got here, it's 10 guys after every practice at Jake Brown's house. That's a great thing to hear because you
Yeah.
also hear that the 24 team didn't have that.
No.
So last year they had it, 23 they had it. Now it sounds like it's the best chemistry year that we've experienced. So big things coming.
Now, has there been anybody behind the plate that has you worried? Like if we see him, you can expect a pass ball or two. Got to be on our toes. Who's that guy that we should like when we're leaving Aaron Beatty? Who's that guy that we should just watch out? You might let one or two slip by.
Cerna's had those moments so far, but to be fair, so did Aaron Beatty in the beginning of the year last year. He
And
came a
Yaman.
long way, yeah, and Yaman. But Josh Jordan works exclusively with catchers, and he does a phenomenal job. But even Luis Hernandez had struggles early on last year that just like balls they should catch that they just working on framing and their timing. But Cerna's had those moments. I think he had 2 pass balls Sunday, right, Paul? I think I saw that.
Mhm.
So he's I mean, that's just a freshman catcher that's getting used to college pitching. He's not catching these guys, at in high school. It may have one dude that's pretty good, but not every single guy that comes out there that's got that stuff. So he's gonna have work to do. But like I said, both of the catchers last year were in this exact same position that Cerna is right now. And by the end of the year, you trusted both of them.
Funny enough, Simpson didn't have a pass ball the whole time he was in. But if and I'm gonna pose this question to you next, David, because whether anybody wants to believe me or not, this guy is a wealth of knowledge.
Oh yeah.
My biggest concern is catcher, and it's not the plate. It's not exactly pass balls or anything like that. Because I mean, they use that pitch com now, and they've already had guys get crossed up and take a fastball to the chest when they're looking breaking ball. It's like, how did you miss that? It's telling you. But I seen it, and LaCabra and the chat can tell you we were sitting next to one another watching it. They had some good throws down, good throwdowns to second. And it could be just, I'm tired of scrimmaging. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. But some throwdowns have been some problems since the fall.
That was
And
going to be my next question, Paul.
that's what's worrying me the most is not as much as the receiving part, but the defensive play of a
Mhm.
catcher. And I've seen some great throws. I've seen some, and it could be a number of things. Don't get me wrong. That's of any position I'm worried about is catcher. I'm not worried about the middle infield. I'm not worried about the corners. But they're
Well,
gonna
you
be great
shouldn't
to
be
plate.
worried about the middle infield because Alec Box Warrior said that he can play second base for us, and LaCabra said that he's going to be his NIL agent. So, I mean, if we're
Like
putting this deal together on timeouts and tangents, just make sure we three get a little piece of the facilitating and the marketing for it, and we'll help y'all promote this out throughout the rest of the season. Go ahead, Paul.
the biggest take, the biggest crazy take. And I don't know if David heard this. La Cabra has a take that he
Okay.
won't put the he gave me the odds. It was 2.5, but he won't put the carrot out. He thinks Stanfield can hit 5 home runs this year. That would that would be an earthquake.
Whoa.
I know
What?
he's and I'm gonna give him hell for it. But the words, no,
Wait,
you
he said I said three.
you said 5.
how how many? I would ask how many Bud Lights that was there before, but I know you can't bring beer inside for scrimmages. So
Yes, you
Oh yeah,
can.
you can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They had
The
the whole
first
crew
scrimmage I
up
went
there.
to
Yeah.
in the spring, they're sitting next to the first base dugout, the gold seats right there you see on camera behind the camera well. These dudes have 2 soft pack ice chests, and they're just drinking beer, like looking at Chief Wanaka going, "Hey, good job."
Macabre said over under was 2.5. Paul, stay lying.
I said it was 2.5. You said 5, and I said 1, maybe. I'd always take the under.
So if Stanfield goes over, pops over 3, that's an added benefit because, like we talked about last week, Paul, you said 1 through 8 can pop 10. That's 80 in your lineup. If you talk about 1 through 9 hitting 5+, that's ridiculous. That's putting up a lot of numbers and a lot of runs. And I just
It's
want to
not
put this
gorilla
out
ball,
here.
but it's close.
Right, but still, it's close. And I just want to put this out here. Breaking news for all those who are going to flip out come Sunday night after the last game. LSU will allow some runs to score. They're not going to shut out every game. Okay,
You
somebody's
lost
going to
one
get
to
a
Omaha.
someone's going to get some runs off on this team. Okay, so let's not freak out when somebody scores a run. Please, can we please just settle in? If we don't beat this team 30-2, like we're not gonna run rule everybody.
Jay doesn't
Okay.
want to.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Paul. He
right. He
does
hates the
not
7
want.
innings.
He
He
hates the
does not
7
want
innings.
to.
He hates run ruling guys. If he could play 12 innings, he would,
He would. He wants to get this rock, and
especially
we
at this
need
time of
it.
the year.
We need it right now. You want. I'm not gonna say you want to see them go long, but don't be mad if they go long because you're getting guys work. It gets time for Jay to figure out the lineup, figure out what guys can get in high pressure situations that you cannot replicate in practice. Live game reps are very important in every single sport, especially baseball. Football, basketball, you can kind of drum up situations. Baseball, you have to play the game. You have to be in those situations and you have to say it. You have to see it live, plain and simple. Pitchers don't pitch the same. Catchers don't run down the same. Base runners don't run bases the same. Balls bounce off of dirt and grass different than they do in scrimmages. So please do not freak out on Sunday night if we give up a run or 2 or 3 or any. Like it's baseball. They're gonna score.
And
And
this team coming in, Milwaukee, they're not a world beater. They're not an SEC caliber team, but they're old.
they're
They had
not
a lot
afraid.
of they had a lot of turnover, and they had a bunch of seniors. And I heard a little tidbit tonight. I didn't know this. They called Jay and
Yep.
said, "Hey, we want to play LSU this year."
They're not afraid. They
No.
know what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
They want this challenge. So if you think that this team is just going to come to Baton Rouge, come to the box, and just chill and just be excited that they're here, no, no, no. They're coming to try to get one off on us. They don't want probably don't want to win the series, but they want to get at least one. They're gonna be hungry. They're gonna be pesky. We don't we don't want to get upset when we don't win 30-2. So just relax. It's baseball. It's
Right.
baseball. So let's get to the meat and potatoes. We have our infield set. We got our outfield set. We know who's rotating where and when. Who's the first guy on the mound?
That's probably the easiest answer we'll give for anything pitching wise right now, and it's Casey Evans. It's whether you have a little bit of concern or question whether he's going to be able to do it, which is fair, and we'll get into that. Uh, he's earned it at this point. He's the best returning arm from last year. He's dominated almost every single time he went out there, and he's your guy. He's the Friday night guy. He's gonna have to lose it, before he moves from that spot. It's 100% Case and Evans.
All right.
If you listen
So
to Nate Yeskie with Easy, I'm gonna give a lot of shout out to John Eads because he does the work. But if you listen to Yeskie, he talks about Case and Evans like it's his son. Watching him grow last year, following Kate Anderson, following Ianson, then having the guts to look at Yeskie before the game in Omaha and say, "I'm throwing the changeup today." He's like, "Okay," and he killed with it. And it's Kaysen's the guy until further notice. There's always a chance. I mean, let me find some wood to knock on real quick. Blake Money was the ace, supposedly
that
in
wasn't
22 and 23. But Kaysen's not a Blake Money.
No,
no, no,
no.
no, 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 no. So I pulled up here Paul's graphic for our start of the year pitching rotations and roles.
There's going to be a lot of explaining to do.
Yeah. So now I do want to throw this out there. Y'all heard me start the show with how I said I consume some of Matt Moscona's media, and another one of his takes that he said, and I mean, I'm not the baseball guy like you guys are.
Don't do it to me.
I'm, but
Don't
I'm
say I had the same take as Moscona. Please don't do that.
no, 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 no. I'm about to piss y'all off because I'm just gonna repeat what he said. I don't have the same take as well. I don't have it at all. But I'm gonna make y'all mad. And this one, I didn't understand where it came from because I didn't hear this be mentioned from anyone else. It wasn't that William Schmidt could be a weekend rotation, but at one point this offseason, I mean, just a couple weeks ago, it was William Schmidt could end up being your Friday night starter this Friday.
Not this Friday. If you told me that by the end of the season, if he catches on and he's probably the most talented pitcher on the staff. Like that's pretty certain in my mind. So if you told me it just clicked for him, and then by middle of SEC play he moves up, I wouldn't be shocked. I honestly wouldn't. But I'm not even sure he's in the rotation for the first 3 days this year. I mean, I'm sorry, this weekend. So I cannot see that.
The only fathomable way that happens is if he's looking ahead in the schedule, not looking ahead of opponents, but looking at timing and rest and saying, okay, we have a lot of Thursday, Friday, Saturday games. We have, or we have a lot of Friday, Saturday, Sunday games, or we have a lot of 4-day weekend games, and he wants to keep casing on a rest schedule. That's the only way I see it happening. And he wants to keep his really other two guys who's going to start the rotation this year on the same rest. That's the only possible way. And I have to look at the schedule, look at dates and days and rest and things like that to get that through. Whenever we pull up the other slide for the end of the year pitching rules, that's when that'll all come kind of more to mind. But yeah, no, Case Nevis is starting. William Schmidt's great. But tell me, so right there, David, look at that, my Friday, Saturday, Sunday roll. Tell me in that scenario who you would put Schmidt over. And we talked about earned it. Let me ask you this question before you get to that point. Is Zach Cowan a better relief pitcher or starting pitcher in your eyes?
At LSU, I believe he's a better relief pitcher. I think he's best in the four inning stints. Maybe 1.5, 2 times the max times through the lineup. Unless the slider really takes off this year. With what he's got now, the fastball changeup mix, which is his changeup is one of the best pitches on staff. Don't get me wrong, but I think that he's just I think relief pitcher personally. He can start. I trust him to go do start a game for you when you need it, like he did second game against Arkansas and Omaha. But I don't. Like I said, I think he's better as a reliever, and I personally think there's better starting options than him.
Oh, I agree, and I put him in the rotation because I agree with you, but the reasons why you made him a reliever is the reasons why I'm making him a starter. I kind of put him in the rotation because I haven't seen him pitch a lot in these scrimmages. He's kind of pitching the same amount as a Rizzy, a Case, and a Newt. So that's kind of why I'm like, okay, I hold him with his stuff. I think he's a better starter because from my point of view, what would I rather have my slower armed, mostly filth guy throwing? I'd rather him throw first, and then you have a guy like a Schmitty or Cooper Williams or Newt or Devin Sheeran coming in and throwing 2 or 3. Grant Fontenot, when you turn that volume up and you bring that velocity up and kind of take their timing out. I'd rather speed them up than slow them down coming out of a
Yeah,
bullpen.
that's fair.
So that's the reason why.
I would the thing I would say with him too is, like I said, I think if you tell me his slider as his third pitch is significantly better. He threw it a lot in that Arkansas start in Omaha, and it was pretty good. He threw it more than his changeup. There's a very right-handed heavy lineup for Arkansas. So if you tell me that's working, then I'm all in with you. My concern with him as a starter going, like I said, more than 2 times through the order, is that if you want to get through an order 3 times, at least, especially in SEC play, you need to be able to go to another pitch, when you get to that second and third time through an order. You've got to be able to show them something different, because if you just know it's fastball changeup and a left-hander or a right-hander is not going to see the changeup as much because you want to work away from the bat, this and that. And you don't have that threat of the pitch that can work away from, whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I think the difference is with him. If you tell me that, I could see it. Something when you're talking about that, I thought about though, where I wouldn't be shocked if he is Sunday starter, Monday, whatever, if he starts this weekend, is that they know what he can do as a reliever. They know that. They trust him there. So if they want to get him early in the year, get him some starts and just see how he handles it, that's not a bad idea at all, in my opinion.
Also gives him a chance to kind of lengthen it out, throw a few more innings than he's going to against SEC play.
Yeah.
So because I remember in 23, the pre-SEC play game we lost to Iowa. Who remembers started that game?
Riley Cooper.
Lefty, and he never saw the mound again from a starting standpoint.
From a starting spot, that was it.
But he could throw. How many innings did he throw between the Tennessee game and the second Wake Forest game?
Brother,
like 9.
Basically a game.
He had 3 saves in Omaha, I believe.
Yeah, 3 saves in Omaha. I think it was a record, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure.
Jay wanted him to be the most outstanding player of College World Series.
Yeah.
And he said he deserved it.
He deserved it. He saved those games. He closed them out. LaCabra in the chat said, going back to Case and Evans debuting a curveball in the CWS versus UCLA, legendary. Definitely go for that. He also says that Friday is Cason, and he's curious to see when Gavin Guidry comes in because he needs it. I think we all do. Louisiana's been Louisiana LSU baseball fans have been clamoring for 8 to step back on that mound. He is
Can I?
definitely a guy that we are excited to see that beautiful curve just drop in
The
is
hammer.
just it's so salacious. Paul, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I gotta go on a tangent here.
That's why we
And I've
call
kind
it
of talked
tangents.
to David about this, and I talked to the Cobra about it. We all remember Garrett Nussmeier preseason, Heisman, the 18. All this hype was there. Gavin Guidry is legit. Garrett Nussmeier was supposed to be. Gavin Guidry has that ability. I think Gavin Guidry has a good chance of breaking into the weekend rotation this year.
Mm.
I think that's going to be a fight between him. I think it's going to come down to a fight between him, Jay Newt, and Schmitty. That's
Mm.
why I have him starting midweek right now to kind of lengthen him out again, or just get his feet wet and let him come in the weekend, throw some more innings to start the year. This is a guy. What is his fifth year, fourth year, fifth
Fourth.
year, fourth year?
This is
Yeah.
fourth year.
After the 24 season, I think Gitcher was going to leave. And he decided to stay because at that time, he wanted to play short. He loved pitching, but he still wanted to hit. I think Gidger was going to leave, and Jay, like I told AP last week, Jay sicked Skip Berkman on him. And he put them paws on him and said, no, young man. No. Come here, big guy. We're going to keep you here.
I'm glad he
And
did.
oh, yeah. And last year was unfortunate. I still don't know what the injury was. A part of me last year was thinking he had cancer. I was scared to death.
You said he's like Garrett Nussmeier. I mean, there's a lot of correlations right now
Yeah.
between him and Nussmeier. Like
Never even thought about it like that.
Right.
Yeah.
The injury is still a mystery, just like Garrett.
Yeah, but Gavin didn't hurt the team. Gavin took his lump and said, I'm going to be Gavin also win the dugout. It was a team guy.
That's why I said earlier,
boombox.
When you asked about spots on the bench, Gavin Guidry turned into a coach last year.
100%.
He definitely was there. LaCabra says he wanted to be a starter too before the injury last year as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were stretching him out.
They were stretching him out in the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Like they wanted him, and they wanted to see him in that spot as well, especially after the work that he did in Omaha. So they wanted it to happen. Go team, what up, y'all? Thanks for jumping in.
What's up,
thanks
Daniel?
for coming to the show, Daniel. Thanks for viewing. And he says as well, so many options in a rotation and in the bullpen. Where do we see a guy like Cooper? I mean, we're talking about, like we've seen these LSU teams where it's like we have one or two guys, and it's just like Johnny Holstaff outside of Friday and Saturday.
It may be Johnny Holstaff this year just because you can.
Right. Like we're talking about having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm counting 8.
I wrote down 8.
Here's what I'm counting. Like here's what I'm counting: William Smith, Jayden Newt.
Talking about
Cooper
possible
Williams,
weekend guys.
Yeah, Gavin Guidry, Cooper Moore, Grant Fontenot, DJ Primo, and Marcos Paz, and Connor Benj, who could all start at other SEC schools. We have them.
I'm counting 9.
I'm pretty sure I missed somebody.
It's honestly, the funny thing is, aside from guys like Primo, Shardar, Connor Benj, I would say Grant Fontenot, and that's about it. Aside from the young guys, they all have weekend stuff. And what blew my mind today making this graphic, I didn't realize it personally. David may have. We have a lot of older guys. We have a lot of young talent as well, but a ton of older transfers, juniors, fifth-year seniors who've transferred in, who are going to be fighting for pitching time, who are going to be clawing at that mound. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I've kind of put some guys off, like you see situational guys, Primo and Shardar. After what I saw with Shardar last week, I'm not high on him. Primo is a lefty on lefty, one batter, get him out guy. No offense to him. I love him. He just doesn't have the stuff or the velocity.
No. Or the strike zone for me.
Plogue, yeah, Plogue, Lacobra, like it's
Yeah.
and Schmidt.
Even Dax is I can't remember if it's Dave.
Dave.
He was a starter, and where he came from, I'll find where he's from when y'all speak. But
Does Dax come from Kansas as well?
No, he came from a smaller school. Give me a second, I can find that.
Okay.
Written down.
Pull up the end of the year real quick if you don't mind, AP.
Gotcha. I got it.
Angelo State.
Right here. There it is.
So this is where stuff gets what people want to see right now, which I don't think they're going to get first weekend. This is where I think it shakes out at the end of the year. And a lot of the guys I have in the midweek roles are younger guys or guys I don't think will have the development yet to break that weekend or primetime bullpen roles.
You said Dates transferred from Angelo State, right?
Angelo State, yep. 5th year senior.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure we plugged that. So
he's gonna be
Paul,
he's gonna be clawing at the mound.
This end of the year rotation and how you see it shaking out.
So Friday doesn't change in my eyes. I'm putting my cards into what Yeski does. This is his third year with the program. I think he knows, especially guys like Kaysen, they have the same pitching coach, and it's going to be great for development. I think Jaden Newt is a guy who has been throwing a lot this preseason, who's looked great. His fastball looks a tick up. I think he's developed his changeup a little bit. And then Sunday is going to be a fight between William Schmidt and Gavin Guidry. And I know I have nothing but righties up there, but this stuff's just too good. I don't know. And I think a guy like Matt Rizzi drops out of the weekend rotation and gives you that back end dominance like you had with Chase Shores. But then you got to look at Grant Fontenot. You got to look at Devin Sheeran. Devin Sheeran, I think, is going to move up into a longer relief role to prime him for a starting role next year.
If you had to put a lefty in the starting lineup, who's your first lefty you're grabbing?
I know my answer. Go ahead, Paul.
I want to hear yours first.
I have this guy in the rotation this weekend. I have this guy in the rotation at the end of the year. It's Cooper Williams. He is a stud. And Jay has talked about him that since last year that he profiles as a starting pitcher. He's easily 3-pitch mix right now. Like Paul just mentioned, trusting Yeski. He likely to add a fourth at some point, but he's in the zone
right now.
They haven't had the radar gun on. He was like 90 to 92 last year, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he had a bump. I think someone said they had the radar going on for like the first 2 days of the scrimmages in the first weekend
in the fall,
and then Jay saw people talking about it on Twitter and never did turn it back on. So it's hard to but it sitting behind home plate. I watched him not last weekend, the second weekend of scrimmages. I sat 3 rows up right behind the catcher, and I know it looks hard. Like I'm not exactly sure what it is. I would guess 93, 94, maybe even touch 95, but it's stiff. But he's good, man, and he's got the mentality of a starting pitcher too. Where I likened him to Cade Anderson last year, where you remember Cade would give up a home run and he was pissed. Like the look on his face was, yes, you got me, and it's not going to happen again. And that's what Cooper Williams does. When I saw him pitch 2 weeks ago, he struck out 8 through 4 2/3. He gave up a home run it was Trent Carraway. I was saying Mason Braun. Braun hit one on the other team. It was Trent Carraway. And then after that, he locked in and retired. I think it was 11 in a row, 11 or 12 in a row.
I love that.
And just KK. I mean, just mowing people down.
See, I love seeing a pitcher's response. That's what used to get me worked up behind Chase Shores at first, because he'd give up a big hit, a home run, or a solid off the wall double.
Yes.
And at first, especially when he first got back from injury, you could see it kind of get to him a little bit. It rocked him a little bit. But then later on in the year, he got his swag back from when he was his freshman year. Like his freshman year, he was before the injury. He gave up a hit and he's humming down 100. Like he's hunting for 100 right down the pipe. Like, okay, you hit me. Let's see if your boys can come behind that. I love seeing pitchers lock in like that. And when you're in right now, you telling me that behind Cooper Williams, it just I love that. And Gavin Goodry's the same way. Like you hit one off of him, he's dunking you 3 times in a row.
You're
Like
right.
you better bring a golf club because he's burying you in the dirt. And I love that. I
He,
absolutely love that.
But then you have I agree wholeheartedly with David about Cooper Williams. My outlook on Cooper, probably getting too deep into baseball with it, is I see him as a starter next year, possibly a Friday guy. I think Smitty's coming back, so he's going to have that Friday role locked up, but possibly a Friday, Saturday guy, depending. And I think he's going to keep him in that long relief role because he has such good stuff coming out of the bullpen. He's so hard to pick up with his delivery. It's great. The guy I'm looking at, and for the reason we were just talking about, and it could be recency bias, I agree, would be Santiago Garcia. And watching him last Sunday give up one to his best friend Milam and then just mow everyone else down. That told me, he's like, okay, this guy's a fighter. Yeah, he gave one up to Milam, and Milam's going to have a little advantage on him because Milam's seen him, I don't know how many times in his life, but everyone else got mowed down, and it was beautiful to watch. And he has a funky delivery as well. One guy that I think to look out for this year also is Cooper Moore. He's not a lefty, but Cooper Moore is going to be hard to keep off that mound. They love him.
That's my Saturday guy right now going in. That's who I think throws game 2. He's pitched every position.
Not a bad take.
He's pitched every position for Kansas last year. He started. He threw in the bullpen. He came from midweek. He pitched in all 3 spots in the weekend rotation. Spent time as the ace. He's just I compared him to Anthony Ianson, and I know that's going to make everyone be like, "Whoa!" And it's not necessarily, he may not have quite the stuff that Anthony Ianson has, but the word that you hear Jay talk about is pitchability. And if I'd be surprised if the first time he throws this weekend, whenever it is in the press conference after, when someone asks about Cooper Moore, Jay's going to talk about pitchability. Pitchability isn't just being able to throw a nasty slider or a high spin rate fastball. It's being able to throw each and every pitch up, down, in, out, wherever you want it. And that's what I see with Cooper Moore. And like I said, I think he's Saturday guy. We'll get to our bold predictions later, but spoiler alert, he's involved with it in a big way.
Well, you see all mine.
Right. I think the Anthony Ianson comparison is a really good point, a really good comp. And the reason why I say this is because we're looking at it from the end point back. When Anthony came in, we didn't know what he was.
He didn't have the stuff until mid the year.
Right. We didn't think that he was going to truly develop into being legitimately that guy that he ended up being. You know, like we had expectations, like, okay, this is a solid young starter who's got some stuff, but can it translate to the SEC? Can they get more out of him? But I kind of like this comparison, and Lacobra's saying Cooper Moore is
yeah, so that's what I was laughing about. I'll give you another crazy one. You know why I like Santiago so much?
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me put up this banner right quick. We got some breaking news right now, folks.
Oh,
what you got?
No, it's not breaking news. The reason I like Santiago so much, he reminds me of Gage Jump.
He does have a funky delivery like Jump. That's a good comparison.
Yeah, he has a funky delivery and he hides the ball.
Yeah.
That's what I like about him. He hides the ball.
You keep tripping me out with that. I'm not going to lie.
I told y'all I've been playing around in here. These sound effects are fun.
I want to talk about Garcia because I think I mentioned Cooper Williams. You mentioned Santiago Garcia. I think those two and what they do is very much tied to each other. Like, see, I think that if Garcia becomes the reliever, you know, in the the trusted reliever, left-hand reliever that you hope that he will be. I think that's what gets Cooper Williams into the rotation. I'm getting ahead of myself. So the only thing I think Cooper Williams has the talent, the mindset, everything I talked about to be a starter for you on the weekend. What I could see stopping him from doing that is because he's such a good reliever and such a trusted arm out of the bullpen. Jace talks about this every year. One of his best pitchers on staff is going to come out of the bullpen. He says it every year. That's why every year after year, it's like, why isn't this guy, going to start? It was Zach Cowan last year. Why isn't he started? Because he wants one of his. He just values that more than everything else. And I think that could be it with Cooper Williams. But if Garcia does what we hope he can do, or it could work vice versa. If Cooper Williams is so good and Garcia bumps into the starting rotation, either way, I think those two and how they perform will be very much tied to each other.
And I think, speaking about that, in 22, after the season, Jay came out and said, I will never be short on pitching again.
He did.
And then 23, he was still a little short. We saw it. In 24, we were short. In 25, we weren't short. We were short of reliable arms,
right,
to a point.
Unknowns.
And that's where I think the Cooper Williams Garcia kind of tandem works out well, because now he can go lefty, righty, lefty. He can go Cooper, say for instance, a Grant Fontenot or a Cowan or a Daith, and then go back to Garcia. I think he can play the offensive games he plays on the mound now, because he has such a deep roster in this with pitching. This is ridiculous what he's assembled. It is preposterous. And I saw that from the Cobra. That's crazy. I didn't know that. He looks like a walk-on the other day, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, I did not realize that he walked on. So shout out to you, Shahard R. If I'm saying your name right, saying your name wrong, I'm so sorry, because it's a lot of vowels in there. But shout out to you, my man, for walking on. Like, that's, first of all, walking on at LSU is one thing.
Right.
Like, walking on in this loaded pitching room at LSU is elite. So
walking on
you,
and then getting on the travel roster is elite.
Even more elite. I want to talk about another pitcher that we haven't really mentioned yet, but was turning some heads a little bit through the scrimmages. And that's Marcos Paz.
I was unfamiliar with your gangster, Mr. Paz.
Right. Where is he falling in to this, and how do you see him? Can he be – because we saw Kason Evans rise into what he's become. Can we see Marcos Paz on that same type of trajectory?
I think if I had to bet right now what role I think Marcos Paz fills, it would be Kason Evans' role last year. Just highly talented freshman who is going to come in, max effort, and just out filthy than everybody else. Like, I think that's what he can do. There was a scout, I'm trying to think who it was. It might have been Joe Doyle. Forgive me if I'm not remembering correctly, but after the draft, he said that he would be shocked if Marcos Paz isn't in the starting rotation by the end of the year because of how good he is. So I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, we talk about all the options there are, but like Marcos Paz would probably be starting on Sunday last year. Let me put it that way. Like that's how good he is. But I think that could be his role for sure.
I'm high on him as well. I have him as a midweek starter solely because he's young. And there's so much veteran talent in this pitching staff. Like, that's the only reason. I don't disagree with anything David said whatsoever. He's over there just because he's young.
I think the midweek is a great spot as well, because I've compared his situation to Cade Anderson multiple times, and not that Paz is a right-hander, not to be confused, but it was a high level guy that was projected possible first round going from his junior to his senior year. He has to have Tommy John, and then doesn't get drafted, and he still did almost get drafted. He was back in time to go throw in like the pre-combine workouts before the draft, and he was almost good enough to still get drafted, but probably made the right decision going to school and getting back on track and doing what we watched Cade Anderson do. But that's exactly what Cade Anderson did freshman year. Just like you said, midweek starter, he was a reaper in the midweek. SLU still has nightmares of Kate Anderson.
Yes.
I remember
Kate
being at
Anderson.
work and listening to that on my my headphones, walking around work and listening to that, and people thought I was like losing my mind. They thought I was going through a PTSD fit because I'm sitting there just blowing my mind that freshman start with Cade had in Southeastern. It was
It
I
wasn't
could
real.
see it through the through Chris Blair and Doug Thompson's voice. It was amazing.
And
It was.
shout out to Chris Blair. I mean, look, Chris Blair does a
Shout
great
out to
job doing
Doug
football.
Thompson. I love
No,
that
no,
man.
no. I was just about to get to them. Get to Doug. You know, Chris does an amazing job during the football season, but my God, him and Doug Thompson on the calls for baseball is so beautiful. And I know we all love Lynn Rollins and his sayings. Lynn Rollins is a goat. But
Fuck her
Chris
up.
Blair, I'm letting you
Kiss
finish.
that baby goodbye.
Right. Like, but Chris Blair and Doug Thompson, when you can't see it, they paint the game for you.
Yep.
They make it so visual for you.
Doug Thompson's one of us.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, he is. Yes, he. All the feelings and thoughts that you have in the moment, Doug expresses before you can say. You didn't even know that you wanted to say it until Doug says it. That's how good Doug is at it. It's amazing.
The Tommy White walk off in Omaha, as Chris Blair's calling it, and Tommy White, however it goes, get out ball. You hear him like in the middle of the call. Yeah, like
If you
It's
watch
great.
the end of booth,
love it.
he sees it clear.
He says it.
It runs.
He sees it.
Rows and runs because
Yes.
he
'Cause
knows
look,
he's going to
I'm
piss
gonna
off
tell y'all
Chris.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now how I watch every game, every LSU game, every football and baseball. I put the game on my big screen. I set up my phone or my computer or my desk in my office, and I turn on in the booth LSU.
Yeah.
And I turn the volume on the TV down, and I sync it to where when the crack of the bat hits or the quarterback claps, I can hear it through the booth.
Yeah.
Through the booth mics. So
Unless there's a Lynn Rollins, Ronnie Rants booth, and I'm like, okay, I
Then
got to
it's-
listen to Ronnie.
Yeah, I
Lenny
gotta listen to
Ben. Yeah.
I gotta
Or
listen to
Ben.
Ron.
Ben's amazing too.
Yeah. Ben is amazing too.
I like
That's different.
Dave Neal and Ben is a good duo too.
Oh, that's such.
Dave Mills is good. You can't, like, how do we allow Lynn Rollins to live in Alabama is my question. How have we not bought this man a house in Baton Rouge and said, you're just going to call all the Baton Rouge games?
That's so
on.
shocking that I didn't even know that. So
Yeah, he's the
Right,
main
yeah,
You
announcer
just
for
broke
Auburn.
news right there. I didn't know that.
yeah,
either.
I would assume he lived
did
around
not
the
know.
block.
Right. I thought I was about to say you could have told me he lived in first base dugout.
That man drives from Auburn
Like
to Baton
that's
Rouge. He
absolutely
drives.
crazy.
He doesn't fly.
The Cobra said that John Sardar, I'm butchering this man's name, is keeping hope alive for all of us. Not for me. It's over for me. I'm not.
Let's
walking on
get to
any-
these lineups
any
real quick so
baseball
we can get to our wild predictions because I know David's
Yeah.
going to agree 100% with my lineup.
team. And
So-
then our guy right here, Bio Orange Vol. Thank you for being in the chat. A Vol fan over here giving Jay Johnson some praise. You don't see that coming from many Tennessee fans, so I definitely appreciate that, my guy. He says Jay Johnson did a great coaching job last year, pushing all of the right buttons. And then LaCobra says, shout out to Lynn Rollins. I want to know in the chat from our Vols fan, how y'all feeling about the baseball team, since you have an objective opinion now that Terry is
It was so hard to be nice just now to that Vol fan, but hey, man, thanks for being
not
objective.
all bad. Right.
No,
Like,
they're not. They're not Ole
all
Miss.
bad. Right, they're not Ole Miss. They're not the school in Oxford. And look, you got me slipping up saying bad words. They're not the school in Oxford. All right? Like they're not that. And I understand like they felt a certain way. And of course, like they got a little cocky, but look,
We have to
coach is
admit
gone
this.
now.
Whenever Tony V took that job in San Francisco, all of us took a deep breath of relief.
I know I did.
Absolutely.
I hated
I know I did when I saw that he was up for the job. I was like, please, Jesus, please let this man go.
if we
But
still had Paul
please
Maneri,
let
which
this
I
man
love
go.
Paul, he has a great name. He
Tony
has a
V
great name.
would have won another national championship. Right
If Jay wouldn't have came here and he stayed at Arizona, and Tony V would be baseball Lane Kiffin to LSU.
Absolutely. I feel good about the team, man, but it's not going to go as good as it would have if Tony was still
I
with
think
us.
it'll be better.
You think
Oof.
so? You
I
think
think.
so?
The reason I think it'll be better, Tony V is a great coach, amazing coach. And me and you talked about this last week, letting the boys play.
Yeah.
AP, he let too much, and he let emotions override
That's fair.
decision making
That's
at
fair.
times. And I think Elander may be a little more grounded. I don't think they're going to have the talent they need, but I think they'll be better than people expect. I don't think they'll make a regional for sure.
That's fair. That's fair. Lacobra says Val's being unhinged on Twitter already, respectfully.
Yeah, someone said Skip wasn't a great or something like that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jay Johnson. I saw one guy say that Jay Johnson was not great. Was not a great baseball coach because he wasn't offered an MLB head coaching job.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. Well, I'm
Let's
glad
get
that
to the
he wasn't.
lineup on that. I'm not
glad
even
that
going
he
to
wasn't.
dignify that with a response.
All right, I'm not. I'm glad he wasn't good enough for the MLB. Thank you,
Yeah,
Coach,
right.
for just being good
Right.
enough for college and staying at LSU. So to the batting lineup.
You told me you weren't doing lefty and righty.
I already had it.
Okay.
And it was I already had
Making me
it.
look bad.
Already. No, I mean, you didn't have a graphic, even though I sent them to you. But yes,
That's fair. Look, mine's very neat right here.
I even sent him the updated one with the like picture of Alex boxes. I was like, if he sends the cartoonish one, I'm gonna feel bad because I'm gonna just be dunking on him with the Alex box pick. But I was like, come on, here you go.
All right, so let's break it down.
Give me your thoughts,
left-handers,
David.
We got
Let's
Curiel
see.
leading off, Milam second, Kate Arambidi third, York batting cleanup, Simpson, Brown, Caraway, Dardar, and Stanfield closing it out. That's versus lefties. And then versus righties, we keep Curiel, Milam, and Stanfield all in the same spot. We move York up to third, Brown up to fourth, Aaron Beatty back to fifth, Dardar jumps to sixth, Caraway stays the same, and then Simpson jumps down to eighth.
That's pretty similar to what I got. I have
Caraway fills that Dickinson role in the back of the lineup like he did towards the end of the year last year in my eyes.
Yeah, I think let's see what I have Caraway 6. So I mean that's one off. If you start with Curiel 1 and Stanfield 9, then it gets a little bit easier. I agree with Milam at second. I think Jake Brown hits third. I mean, we're guessing, but I know AP told me you want ours. So I got a Jake Brown third. Aaron Beatty fourth, York fifth, and Caraway Dardar. So it's pretty much the same, just with like maybe just flip flopped in one or two spots. So look at us, we're on the same page, Paul.
Well, I think I guess righty is a little easier because you
Yes.
don't have to go righty lefty. You don't have to kind of because all the righties have seen righties their whole life. Lefties feast off of righties. So it's kind of easier. Against lefties, you kind of want that flip, and a guy like Milam gives you that flexibility being a switch hitter. Stanfield being at the bottom, AP said it perfectly last week. It's your second lead off, and you only lead off once a game.
Right.
Yep.
I kind of see York protecting Brown against right-handers.
Yeah.
So
I like how you can start off the game against a right-hander with 4 lefties. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's elite. And it's not no slouches either.
And watch I be completely wrong because I also derived this from somebody at LSU baseball media got fired, but they posted the 3 batting lineups against Southeastern on the wall that Jay wrote. So it was game 1, game 2, game 3, at the tournament, and it may have been Biloxi or Hammond. I don't know too. I don't know
They
exactly.
played if it's South Houston, it was the week after Biloxi in the fall. They went to SLU.
So, but they posted the lineups, and I found them on X today trying to find another picture. But I was like, oh, this is recon. I can use this. Now, two of them were just like York led off. I think in the third game, I was probably like, this is where we kind of finished the last game and wanted to kind of keep going. But the first lineup, it wasn't similar to what I have here, but it kind of followed this trajectory. And I don't know, I like it. If I can start off a game with 4 lefties against a righty, I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And
It's hard, it's hard to stop. It's hard to top that.
the one lefty I think that you could see in there too. I have to admit I haven't dove into Milwaukee just yet. That's I was focused on
Did a
this, and
little
then
bit today.
I'll look at it a little bit tomorrow. But I'm assuming, just because it's a safe assumption, that they're going to start with a righty on Friday. But I was having a hard time not finding a spot for Mason Braun. Honestly, I think I went with Simpson versus a right-hander simply because Simpson's been so good in preseason that it's going to be hard. But Mason Braun's going to be in the lineup at some point too. You can bet on that, in my opinion.
This is my idea of starting off this year with midweek games being more focused for Braun in the field, not just DHing. Like I said earlier, with the defensive positioning, York is a DH in this position. Braun, Harden, Patrick, and Kloss are going to get a ton of work this year. Kloss is sweet with the glove. Kloss is filthy. So this is just mostly a weekend. Like if you had me make a lineup against UCLA for the College World Series final tonight, this is a lineup I'm writing.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. Awesome. So our Vols fan in here is very, 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 very objectional. He was asking if we think that LSU can go back to back, and of course we all pretty much agree. And he even agrees as well. He says, "I think can
I've already
LSU
called it.
how many times do the tie? I have too. Have to prove the world wrong." And I said yes. Like the mountain is deep,
I like this guy.
but let the world
Like
continue
and
to doubt. I do
subscribe.
too. Look, please, sir, hit the button. Hit the button. LaCobra says the same thing. This is my favorite Vol fan ever exist, and we agree with you with that. I'll drop your Twitter, sir, so we can follow you.
Yeah, I want to follow you.
like we
You're a
want
good
to
one.
support you. You're a good guy. LaCobra also says that you can put any lineup out there and it will be correct at least once come SEC play. J loves to tinker.
That's a
You're
good
not
point.
wrong.
Yeah.
Our Vols fan again says, I just know Tennessee ain't all that, man. A lot of Tennessee fans are delusional about the Vols. Yes. Then
LSU was in
he
the same
drops,
boat for a long time.
he drops the bomb of bombs, guys. He says, we have one national championship. College baseball has been played for like 130 years. Thank
I'll
you.
give you a
That's
sliver
one more
of
than
hope.
Arkansas.
I'll give you a sliver of hope real quick. Big Orange Ball. LSU was nothing until 90, 89, 90. It took Skip Bertman coming in and creating the program and creating the culture and bringing that fire here. And I mean, it was enough to make my wife have us move to where we live now because of Skip. Tony V may be your guy that's like that. Tony V could be your catalyst for catapulting your program to where it needs to be. I honestly can.
Funniest comment. Tennessee don't even have a pair of balls yet like Vanderbilt. I mean, we have one natty. I got 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 ears. You know where he's going. My old lady has a pair, and my baseball team has one. And she got 2 eyes, 2 arms, and 2 ears.
I like this guy.
I like
Yeah.
this guy, man. I
Yeah.
like this guy. So
Speaking,
no, go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
speaking of Tennessee and SEC play, who do you see, David, being the biggest impediment to my take that I gave
Wait,
AP last
I,
week?
I
Oop,
want I want to get to that in a second. Before we move off the batting order, I got one question, and then I do want to get into who's the teams that we have to be very, very concerned about that can derail this whole thing for us. But John Pearson, where does he fall into this batting lineup?
Uh, it's tough. Because he's Jay's gonna want to get him in. I think the first spot I would go. I think he'll get time at third. I think when it's all said and done, I think that's where they'll want him to play. Caraway's, if things go to plan, Caraway's, it's his draft year as a junior. He'll be gone. He's one and done. I think they want John Pearson to be the third baseman next year, so he'll get there. And it's we didn't even talk about really getting the details with defense, but that's what I think is gonna determine a lot of who plays like at second, at third. I think it's gonna be defense. You're coming off of having the best defensive year in your infield in LSU baseball history. Like that says a lot. You had three shortstops playing on the infield last year, so all these guys can hit. Like we probably haven't even given Tanner Reeves enough credit, because the kid can hit, but he was a problem at third base last year defensively. So I think it's going to be defense. I know the long-winded answer was saying is John Pearson's defense or Trent Caraway's defense is going to determine, who gets more time at third, I believe. But that's where I would say. And then even Paul's talked about York DHing, like they could get Pearson some time at first base as well, or
I
DH.
think I think John fills the Josh Pearson role of this team this year. And again, I think he kind of gets primed to play third next year.
Mhm.
Because you look at next year, Milam's gone, Caraway's gone. I think Dardar may be back.
No, Dodos, this is
Maybe
it.
this is fourth year.
This is fifth year.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
Dardar's
yeah.
gone. Um, York is gone. You lose your total infield, and then next year I think you have Claus at short, John at third. Reeves will be gone too, but you got plug and play guys there for next year. They're going to be great. But I think John fills that Josh Pearson role of who can be my clutch guy, who can be the guy I can throw in the lineup right now. I need a base hit, or I need you to lay down a bunt, or I need a good at bat. I think John's going to be that guy. I love Lil John. I love him
The boy's got some power, raw power.
more than you would imagine.
Would you put his power on par with Jarrett?
It's
No,
probably not far behind. Like not. I don't. There's no one on the team that I would put up there with Jared. But
I
I would
would.
say John's probably got. He's almost got the same body type and it's similar. He doesn't go opposite field as much as I was gonna say Tommy White, and maybe it's not
Yeah,
a good
that's
example, but that type of power where he can be off balance a little bit and still hit it out.
yeah. That's what I was afraid to say that because Tommy was
That
just
was my
so
first
damn different.
comp in my mind was Tommy
Yeah,
as far as
Okay.
power.
Right.
and I
Yeah.
didn't want to put that level of expectation on him because any pitch up in the zone, Tommy gets a piece of it. It's out of here. And like you say, regardless of how he was, even if he's off balance, he can pull it and it's still going. And that's I didn't want to put that kind of expectation on Pearson.
I
But
think I
hearing
found the
you
comp.
two guys say that,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
okay, Hayden, that's very fair. That is very fair.
I
John
think that's
Pearson
very, very
hit.
fair.
He hit one. I saw I think 5 games total last year, including Omaha. But Pearson hit the most powerful home run I saw out of any of them. It was against North Alabama, and we were sitting like kind of right, like not quite to the first base dugout, but in between home plate and first base dugout. So looking straight into left field. He hit a ball that just like the entire crowd just went, oh, like
Yeah.
it hit the top of the scoreboard. It was
Oh
ridiculous.
my god.
Now you got me thinking Kate Beloso vibes. because I remember going to 23 and going to the McNeese game, and Beloso hit one that my oldest son was still on my wife's belly, and he jumped. It was no, I could bring it in there to tell you. Like the ball came off the bat towards the intimidator, hit off the intimidator, and as soon as off the bat, she was like, "Oh, he jumped." I was like, "Yeah, that's a good one to jump on."
That's awesome. Well, since we're
Yeah.
talking about schedules and games and teams that we've seen, what who is the one on this schedule that you look at and think, "Oh crap, like this is the team that LSU needs to be concerned about." These people, and not even just within the schedule. Let's say we make it to the Supers, we make it to Omaha. Who do we, as LSU fans, need to be concerned can ruin our chance at a back to back? And I'm gonna lead off. I'm gonna tell y'all who I think it is. First, I think it's us. I think the only team that can beat us is us if we get in our own way.
Remember what I told you about baseball last week, AP?
Yep. You versus the ball.
Yep.
I just don't see a team that that can one game okay. A series, no way in hell.
Newsflash: LSU is not going 30-0 in SEC play.
No,
They will
not
drop a
at all.
series in
They're gonna drop
SEC
a
play.
series. Yeah, they're gonna drop a series. I mean, it just happens. You play too much baseball not to. Like even like when Tennessee went undefeated, I felt bad for them because now you're playing with the pressure to finish. You don't want that weight on you. You don't want that weight on you. I wouldn't want that weight on this team. So when I look at it, like, and my expectations are for us to get number 9, full stop. And it's because of how deep the pitching is. We know the bats are going to show up. We know that the batting is not just one centered around Jarrett Jones anymore. We know that it's deep, it's spread out, and then you have more bats on in the bullpen, more bats in the dugout, and your arms coming out the bullpen are elite from both sides of the mound. So how can I sit up here and objectively say that there's another team that can take 2 games off of us? I just don't see it.
It's tough. I mean, obviously it's going to happen, but it's. I'll give you an answer that will probably be not one of the first 4 or 5 that a lot of people would give you, and I'll tell you why. But Florida, because Florida's got 2 of probably the best
I'm
1-2
about to I'm
punch.
about to kick you off of here. I'm about to
I don't
ban
like
you
them.
from the
I don't
studio.
You
like
are
them. I promise.
100% correct.
I'm about to
I
ban
don't
both
like
of
it.
y'all.
I don't
I'm
like
about to
the
ban
coach. I
both
don't
of
like
y'all. I
them.
hope I
I
got
don't.
a really good friend of mine who's from Baton Rouge, grew up not far from LSU, and is a damn diehard Florida Gator fan. And for you,
You
both of
can't
y'all to
fix
say
stupid.
Florida, Florida's the team. And I can tell you right now,
They
if we're
are in
not
a
talking,
trap position for us. It is a terrible spot for us to see them and where we see them. Terrible spot.
I can tell you right now, he's nervous because of the off the field issues that Sully's having and how
Can we have
that may
story
play
time real
into it.
quick?
Sure. I mean, we call
I
it
don't know
sometimes
why
out
he's
there
worried about off the field
tangents.
stories. Now, David, you may want to cover your virgin ears for this. I know you're my little golden boy. He's my like good angel on this shoulder. I'm the bad angel on this shoulder. Sully, there's one reason why Sully was not hired. You may know this story about the bad boy's mom.
Remember
David
there being
knows the
some.
story.
I remember there being. It looked like it was going to be Sully. It really
So
seemed like it was going to be, and then it wasn't.
Sully was sleeping with the bad boy's mom, who was married, and I'm gonna say allegedly, just in case. Allegedly. Um. Somehow, some reason, the father found out, got mad, burned the house down with him and the kids in it, and she was not there, and Sully is still with her. So off the field issues with Sully is not a problem. And Brian Kelly killed a kid.
He's as far as baseball coach goes, he's damn good.
He's damn good.
He's damn good.
He's damn good.
It's I was fine with Sully. I was fine with it.
He every single time you think they're
They're
not going to
out of
be
it.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just they're there every. I mean, last year they I don't remember their exact record, but it was pretty similar to LSU in 2024. Just brutal, and then
Allegedly.
I said allegedly.
Allegedly. Thank God. Thank God we don't have any monetization to lose at this moment, but we still don't want to get this channel banned. All right, we are on the come up.
We are
We
not
don't
the
want
first
up
YouTube
to
channel to
stop.
talk about it. We're
All
not
right.
the first one to talk about
We
it.
don't- Thank God we're small enough to not get discovered by it.
And I left out a lot of details, but so no, yeah, David's 100% right. That's a trap spot. We'll see in the last weekend of SEC play, right before the SEC tournament. Which, newsflash, we don't care about.
Yeah, we don't care about the SEC tournament, guys. Like, LSU does not give. We don't need that. We don't need that.
Paul Maneri is in South Carolina. He can care about the tournament all he
Right.
wants. We don't care about that.
Clearly, Jay threw his two starters in one game last year. Jay was like, "Get me out of here.
Get out of
Yeah.
here.
Let's wrap this up. Let's get one. Let's knock Texas A&M out of this thing, and let's get home."
Right.
And when we need it, he cares. 24.
I'll tell you, and I'll tell you, in 24, they needed it. They went on a longer run than they needed to, but for all of his shortcomings the year before, Christian Little was becoming a very big part of that staff.
Yeah.
And he gets hurt in the championship game in the SEC tournament. And he's done, and you don't have him at North Carolina.
Yep, it blew it, and you needed him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got Florida.
See both sides of that experience. So
yeah, it depends on what you need
the
going
SEC
there.
Tournament, right? Like the expectations this year that you have, you shouldn't need to win anything.
No.
Like
no.
Let it go.
Can we turn down the invitation, please?
I mean, please. Like,
can we just say, hey, we're good?
Our Vols fans is still spitting facts. FSU has been the 24 World CWS has never won.
Oof.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah.
So you got Florida. Vanderbilt worries me. I do think they'll be down this year, but saying down to Vanderbilt is kind of crazy to a point.
Vanderbilt team is still a very good Vanderbilt team.
Still very good. I think Ole Miss will have some fight. We lost that series last year, and we got swept by Auburn last year.
See, you got me saying bad words again. Screw that school in Oxford.
And I think Georgia will be the Florida, Georgia, the school in Oxford, and the Vanderbilt series are especially because they're on the road, the ones, except for Florida, are the ones that kind of worry me because Georgia is a pesky team. Wes Johnson does a great job with his team. They always got some power in the bats, and their pitchers are nasty. I mean,
they play well at home too.
That guy last year, and they play well at home. It is a bandbox.
They got that tiny ass park.
Yeah,
everyone has a tiny box. Everyone has a tiny park in the SEC compared to LSU. Like everyone plays in a bandbox. I think Tennessee just made their park smaller, didn't they? I saw the renovation thing today. I think they made their park smaller.
That should be illegal. Everybody should follow the sizes of the box.
I love it.
We have the most national championships.
We'll hit more home runs on the road this year than we will at home.
Oh, obviously. I think that's part of the reason why the numbers for our lineup are gonna hit the numbers that you put out, because we get to go to these nice smaller parks and we get to push the ball further. So it's definitely going to be a benefit to our lineup more so than the home teams. I'm cool with it.
There's one road series that we haven't talked about, and it might be the toughest one. It's Mississippi State.
Yep.
I was saving that for next.
Sorry. I couldn't. You talking about going? That's a tough one. They got first year coach and a lot of transfers and all. They ranked number 4 going into the season. Obviously, we know that all this.
Texas A&M was ranked 1 last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. O'Connor from Virginia does bring a lot of talent with him. It'll have to shake out, but it doesn't matter who's on the mound, who's in the lineup. Going to Mississippi State's tough. I mean, if there's
tough place.
It is. It's rowdy. I have so much respect for that crowd, that even that fan base. I like those guys a lot. As far as opposing SEC teams go, I want to go there. Like that's bucket list to go watch a game there over anything
But
else.
when you get to nuts and bolts on it, in my opinion, yeah, he's a great coach, but and the ACC is a great conference for baseball. I look at the ACC and SEC as kind of SEC high A ball. Everybody says AAA. They don't understand the minor league farm system at all. But I'd say SEC is a high A ball, ACC low A.
Mhm.
But it truly is a different animal when you come down to the SEC out of the ACC. I mean, how many years straight has the SEC won the College World Series? I think it's going to be he's going to have a great team. They're going to make a regional. Hell, they can make a super regional. I don't think he has the talent to make it to Omaha. I don't think he has the talent to. They'll win 16 games in the SEC. They'll be over 500. They'll be one of the top 4 teams in the SEC. I don't see them being. I mean, aside from the stadium and the environment and the atmosphere that we all know, that's not going to really affect the guys, though. I think guys like Curiel, Brown, Milam, Aaron Beatty feed off of that and go, "Oh yeah, okay, let's have fun. We'll shut y'all up real quick." And that's kind of where they're there, but I think a team like Georgia and a team like Florida kind of pose a bigger threat than the Bulldogs do this year. But I could be.
They have a lot to prove. Yeah, for sure.
Did Mizzou opt out of baseball?
I'm gonna say like Zombie Bob was saying about LSU baseball. I didn't even know they had a baseball team.
They weren't that bad a couple years ago. They weren't that bad a couple years ago. Well, yeah. Who'd they hire? They hired the guy from
Carrick something Jackson from Southern.
from Southern.
Huh?
Yeah.
Was it Carrick?
I hope he turns it around. I hope he turns it
does
around.
Too. I hope he does too. But I mean, it's Mizzou, guys.
Yeah.
Here's one for you, David.
It's always a bummer they're not on the schedule.
Right. Like, how do we end up with this? Only team that I want that's not on this schedule is Texas. And I want them in the box. They owe us.
Don't get me started. The SEC is protecting. Oh my. Okay.
Yeah.
David.
They're protecting them.
David.
Yeah, they're protecting them.
What midweek non-SEC game does LSU lose this year?
With that, I think it's midweek. Northeastern. Yeah, that's an easy answer for me. Northeastern's good. They were a 2 seed in the tournament last year. That's gonna be a fun game.
Good.
Yeah, maybe that's a cheating answer. If you want me, I can look more. And
No,
answer.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
I go Tulane, but I forgot about Northeastern being a 2 seed. So, but I went Tulane.
Let's see. Creighton's always solid too.
Still.
We play Creighton. Oh, we got 10-run rule by Northwestern State last year. So
we also had Jared Jones at third.
He did.
Yes, we did.
He did. Yeah.
It's just true.
I love the idea. I told AP that.
Right. I wasn't mad at it either. I don't put stock in midweek games.
He make one good play against Brady Neal against Bama, and he's like, "Oh, we got a third baseman."
We got a third baseman. Well, let me show y'all what I just cooked up.
Jared Jones pulled off the Todd Peterson of Todd Petersons with Maneri. He's like, "Yeah, coach, I played third in high school. I played third all the
time. I used to hit all the time."
SLU's going to be good. SLU's going to be good, Lacober, but
LSU is
and that rain delay.
Yeah, the rain delay.
Oh
yeah.
I think I heard the thing. It was like over under 15 weather delays for the season.
Yeah.
Today, I heard everybody taking the over.
A little high, but
I don't.
But I'm about to say
we may start Saturday.
Right. Well, I think we're gonna start on Saturday, so I think that take is already blown.
Yeah.
I think that take's already blown out the door. I mean, it's spring in it's winter and spring in South Louisiana. The first 8 weeks of the season is gonna be the ice box, and then it's gonna be the wet box. So
Right.
just stay weather prepared, guys. It is what it is out here between February and May. So just kind of
Bring a
got to get
comfy
how you can.
chair to
I
sit
gotta
in the
give
parking lot.
I gotta give Lynn a
Cobra
shout
said,
out. We're
not gonna
we're
not gonna lie, I'm gonna be in bed at 1:17.
117.
No, you will not.
We
Look,
won't let that
We know
happen.
you better than
I'm
that.
not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. When that home run hit, I couldn't even celebrate. I went, whoo. Like I was half sleep. I was half sleep already on the sofa, and I was sitting on the sofa just like this, slouched, and I woke up just in time to see him step into the box. I said, "All right, Jared, do me a favor, brother. Put me out my misery, please, Jesus." And when he hit that home run, I went,
Thank God.
I turned off the TV. I had to walk off.
I couldn't yell, but it was because I was trying not to wake up the entire house. I was locked in. I mean, I stay
Oh
up late,
man, my
but
my
I
family
was
sleeps
like,
like polar bears.
I was laying in bed next to my beautiful wife, and I was just 2 seconds later
Slump.
passed out,
Slump.
wishing I was there.
Slump. So what other bold predictions do you guys have? I mean, outside of
yes.
Stanfield hitting 5 runs, thanks LaCobra for kicking that off earlier in the show.
You need to
You
get to
heard
a
it here
gambling
first.
sponsor.
Right, we heard it here
See
first.
what
Brought to
those
you
odds
by
are.
FanDuel,
1-800
DraftKings, whichever
gambler.
one, MGM, Caesar Sportsbooks, whichever one of y'all
One
want to
eight
sponsor
hundred
this.
Joey Shalacy.
Right. We'll even take the Bayou Bandits bookies, if y'all are around, to take LaCobra up on his 2.5 over for Stanfield, and he has the line moved now to 5. It's official, right?
That's got to be plus like 5,000 odds. It's got to be in 10,000 odds.
Right. So, what other bold takes we got for this year?
You want to go first or second, Paul?
I already gave some last week that I'm gonna reiterate here tonight. I'm actually really curious to see what yours are.
Okay. First one is Jake Brown leads the team in home runs this year. And I say that's bold because he played half the games last year, so it's in you asked earlier, AP, how do we feel about him against left-handers? It's a question. But let me tell you why. He was tied for second on the team in home runs in SEC play last year, despite only starting 16 games. Him and Milam hit 6 home runs in SEC play, only one behind Bear at 7. And Bear hit 3 against South Carolina to even take the lead in the last series.
Right. So it's 4 against other teams, 3 against 1. So it's
Right.
not even spread out evenly.
And what, Jake had 7 last year?
Total, I think
it's
it was
7
6 in the SEC.
6 in the SEC.
Yeah, I think it was 8 total.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see it. I think, and it's not just when his home runs aren't cheap. When he hits them out, he hits them out. So I just think it's in there. Like I said, it's bold. I say it's bold. I actually believe it could happen. So that's number one for me.
I'm dropping a bomb on that.
I'll
Jake
piggyback
Brown.
your home run leader. Are you ready for my? Y'all know who my home run leader is, but I'll say it. The Bayou Panda is going to be getting on the Panda Express at least.
Bayou Panda, ladies and gentlemen. Every time we talk about the Bayou Panda, I'm hitting a gong this year. I just want y'all to know that.
And he's going to be on the Panda Express.
Yes, like that's gonna be the intro for the Bayou Panda. That's anytime we mention Bayou Panda.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? Like our guy's gonna do his thing. So please.
Jay did not bring him here for first base.
No.
So, but no, David's completely right. Jake's gonna hit, I think, 15. Between 13 and 17 mark this year.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you say he's on pace with 6 through 16 starts last year, it's double digits, and then whatever he adds, out of conference, I don't think it's that crazy. But
I think another thing too is we can't have our mind set on somebody going for 20 plus home runs in this
no,
lineup right now. And I know when we talk about leading the team in home runs, that's where that people always think the wildest. So we're gonna have a guy go 25, 30. No, no, no. If you have a team, and we pointed this out earlier, that every guy 1 through 8 can go for yard 10 times in a season, you're hitting volume through your lineup. So a guy having 15 to 17 leading the charge on that, and you sprinkle in 12 to 13 throughout the roster of the rest, you're pushing 90 to 100
You're
easily.
yeah,
forgetting Panda hitting 20.
Oh, Panda
Ah,
hitting 20?
oh, that's yeah. When I am, if I had a sports book that would let me bet props, I would make it public and I would put $100 on it.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm not a
Okay.
gambler.
Okay. All right. LaCobra in the chat says Curiel leads college baseball. College baseball, not the SEC, leads the country in walks
Yeah.
while simultaneously doubling the amount of yarders, home runs, dingers he hit last year, which was 7. So he goes for 14, leads walks. That's a bold prediction. I like it.
yep, I like it.
And I'll give you my comp for Curiel this year. And I'm gonna get roasted for this. He's a young A Rod. His body is a young A Rod. And the video I captured that you saw, AP, of Curiel's home run against
Yes.
Newt,
Yes.
the reason why I started filming that wasn't because I was sitting. I'm not gonna sit there every pitch with my phone and record, delete.
Right.
I'm not gonna do that. Curiel's approach at the plate was it was a 3-2 count. He was on his 8th or ninth pitch of that bat. He wasn't cutting his swing down. He was going after it against a guy like Newt, who's got good stuff. So he's confident. And being at the top of the lineup, I think it's going to be a little bit harder to get to that double digit range, like anything above maybe 12. But I think he hits at least 11. But he's going to be in the double digit range 1,000%.
Yeah,
All right.
I agree.
All right. I love it. I love it. LaCobra says, I think we have a lot of guys hit 8+ home runs. I don't know if anyone gets to 25.
If anyone gets to 25, it'll be going through the College World Series final. It would be going that far.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
see, but
extending all
it's
the
still
way through.
really, really hard.
I mean,
I
Bear
gotta-
hit 22 last year.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's
What
what
did Tommy hit? I think Tommy hit 25, right?
I think 25 or 27. Yeah, his first year.
And 100 or so RBIs. That was just insane.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
question to y'all. Who leads us in RBI this year?
Oof. It's tough.
It's going to be hard to do because Curiel's going to my first instinct is Curiel, but it's going to be really hard to do with leading off the game because you kind of rob an opportunity from him to drive someone in. But
I can see Monster.
Yeah, I was about to say Milam.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was leaning towards Monster
Because I think he hits
Both
two
sides of
or
the plate.
3. Yeah. Yeah.
Just to clarify on Tommy White, he hit 24 in each of his 2 seasons.
Oh, it's 24.
27
That's 24.
27 at NC
The
State.
Brandon Larson
Oh,
40
yeah,
home run
yeah.
years are gone.
Yeah.
Those are
Oh
done.
God, that's long gone.
Here's
Lacombe
one
answers with
for
Jake
you.
Brown and Milam leading us all.
Go
Leading us
Milam.
to, RBI.
I got a crazy one for you. I think Team ERA finishes the year between 3.25 and 3.
Okay.
I mean, doesn't sound very low for baseball. I mean, you look, Dodgers were a low ERA team, but in college, you see a good staff with a 4.5, 5 ERA.
Yeah.
It's a
for
good
sure.
team.
For sure.
I think the pitching this year stands out. I mean, even with Paul, I think our team ERA was still in the 5s, but Ty Floyd gave up a lot of runs. I think we're kind of fall between that 3.25 ERA for the year.
Yeah. Well, I'll piggyback since you brought up pitching. That was one of mine. My next bold prediction is that Cooper Moore finishes the year with the most wins on the staff. And I'll tell you why. Because I think at some point, well, I think he
Wait, say
starts
that one more time
Saturday.
for me, David. Cooper Moore does what?
Cooper Moore leads the team in wins.
Okay, okay, okay.
And while I think he starts game 2 this weekend, I think he would, where they would like to have him ultimately settle is game 3 on Sundays. And he's a matchup advantage over pretty much anybody that you go against in a game 3 in the SEC. He's just a polished pitcher, like we talked about, the pitchability thing that Anthony I said we don't have to go over again. But so I think that you could see him win a lot of Sunday games with him on the mound, and that's why I think that's a possibility.
So is your weekend rotation at the end of the year, right? We're projecting. Or this weekend. I could be wrong there too. Evans, Williams, Moore.
That's the 3 I start with. If you tell me that Schmidt finds his way in, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Okay. Going back to what you said about ERA, ERA in 23 ended up at 4.47, so right at five, right under 5. So a 3.5, a three you said 3.5 or
3.25.
3.25, 3.25
3.25 or 3.
would be elite. Like
That
that's
would be
elite level
shutting down
pitching.
midweek
Yeah,
guys. I
yeah.
think LSU has a chance to do what Jay Johnson wants with going undefeated in midweek. He's made that very clear. He said it multiple times. He does not like losing midweek games. And then holding SEC opponents. And I think that ties into what I told you last week.
Mm.
I'm not going to say anything, anybody. I'm going to say what nobody else wants to say, like the other podcasters. I think LSU does win the national championship this year. I do think they also win what they've never done, the SEC outright this year, winning a national championship. And I think it's due to that pitching, due to that low ERA. I think they can win 20 in SEC play, being 20-10. That's with dropping a series. That's with sweeping a couple of guys that they have ability to do so. So that's where my head's at. That's why the pitching is going to be so dominant this year.
Yeah, I think
I
those
hate
two would
looking at
definitely go
23
together.
stats. I'm sorry for that. I was looking at 23 stats again, and Paul Skeens was just unreal. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Like
He's still
1.69
unreal, and he's playing against big leaguers.
Yeah.
A 1.69 ERA?
They
That's
posted a video today of
unfair.
Skeens' first like live bullpen, kind of,
Oh, I saw
and
that.
every big leaguer's in the dugout like they're in little league,
Yeah, it's
just open mouth. Yeah,
What did he say at one
that's
point last year? It's like 6 different pitchers or something like that. Like, not that
yeah,
he always used it, but like, yeah, that's just he's an
That's
alien.
nuts. He's an
He's an alien.
alien. He's
Yeah,
an
everybody on the
alien.
Pirates
unreal.
roster is thinking it's gonna suck when we have to face him when he's pitching for the Yankees. That's
Oh,
all they're
Yes.
thinking about.
Yes.
as long as
Yes.
it's not the Dodgers, please.
I hate the Yankees too, though,
I
but
hate the
No,
Yankees
yeah,
too, bro. Like, I can't
yeah.
stand the Yankees.
chop on. I
Yeah.
Yes,
wish we could
sir.
afford them.
So what else we got, guys? What other bold predictions we have here?
I have one more, and it's that Mason Braun becomes a must start at DH by the end of the year, like Ethan Fry last year. If
Okay.
he just
Okay.
does what we think he can do, it's that he's so good. I mean, it was about a couple weeks into SEC play last year where Ethan Fry was still kind of platooning at that spot, with Pearson or, depending on what they did in right field with Pearson and Brown. If it was a righty, they would start Pearson, at DH and play Jake Brown in right field. And then he just hit a point where it was just like he has to be in the lineup. And we saw why. We finished with 14 home runs, had the biggest swing. I said this the other night when I was doing my watch through, the biggest swing of the season against Little Rock. He just couldn't take him out. But not to get, I could go for hours on Ethan Fry. But
Yeah.
that's what we've seen from Mason Braun and what I've heard. And having him batting third, in these scrimmages mixed in with some really good hitters, that just tells you what Jay thinks of him. That like I said, it's bold, but that he becomes a must start every game.
Okay.
That's
I like that.
my last one. I'll give you. Oh, go ahead.
Lacoba says Paul Skeens could hit bombs too, but Jay wouldn't let him. I mean,
Would you let
brother's
him? I
throwing
wouldn't.
101. You're not touching a bat. Like, go sit down.
101 with a new pitch called a splinker
Right,
that no one
right.
knew about.
Then right. He's an alien. Dude probably could have played football and been a first round draft pick. Like, that's how different he is.
Oh yeah,
Fry saved the season multiple times. Gonna miss
he
it.
did.
Absolutely, he was definitely that.
As I
What
was
was
doing my rewatch of last year, he was the guy. I was like, oh my
yes,
God, I forgot. Like I mean, not
he was
that I forget, but
so many clutch moments, especially
yeah,
leading up to Omaha,
yep,
when you had to have that hit and you couldn't find it with Travinsky. You thought Hernandez could pull it out, or you were expecting Jarrett especially when Jarrett was going through his slump.
right, exactly,
Like,
exactly.
Fry was able to step in and really pick up the slack for the lineup. So
He did.
it's oof, definitely going to be missed.
Oh yeah,
Now, the last thing I'll say about predictions, and I have one more question as a fun little probably sign off because we're getting close probably. My last bold prediction would be LSU will have two guys semifinalists for the Golden Spikes.
Who are the two?
Curiel Brown.
let's go.
Okay.
Big
I
Jake
want to
Brown.
say Milam so bad, but Curiel and Brown will be your two of the semifinalists. My
I'm
last
glad you-
question for go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm glad you said that because I flirted with the idea of saying that Jake Brown would be a finalist for Golden Spike. So
That's
you
why I
said
said semi because I think Curiel passes them, and he's because I
Yeah.
think there's like what 5 guys for the finalists like round. And I think they're not going to allow two LSU
there was
guys.
three. There was three at the finals, like at the
So-
presentation. So yeah,
My last question is a fun one. You have this graphic as well, Mr. AP.
Let me
What's
see.
your favorite walk-up song? And I love what
Where you going?
LSU Uni guy did today was like asked, can you identify the player with the song? My wife loved Tommy White's walk up, so I played it for her. She's like, I said, who is this? She goes, Tommy. I'm like, all right. So now I think there's a misprint because I think Dar changed his to the classic juvenile back that ass up. But
My guy.
set it off is better. Set it off is better.
I know,
What's
I know.
your
No,
what's
look,
your
for me, no song set it off or back that ass up is still elite. But the fact that you went with back that ass up as a walk up song.
I think they didn't want to have the Chad Jones moment of playing the unedited version when he came out.
But and nothing. Look, I don't know if y'all realize this, but I'm a black guy. Okay, I am black.
I
when
thought
that
she just
song
got a
comes-
tan.
Nah, brother. Nah, this is natural. Sorry. I was when that song goes off,
You wear lotion, not sunscreen.
Nope.
Got it.
exactly. That's why my hands stay nice and moisturized. But when that song goes off, as he's walking up to the batter's box, white women are gonna lose their mind. That's gonna give us so many scenes in the stands. He's
That's a good
giving
point.
us freebies. Okay.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah,
It's like I told David and I told Jared, LaCobra, sorry, last week. It's yoga pants season. I'm
What?
married and
Yes.
I am a faithful man and I'm going to do my best. Just look at the grass. Just look at the grass. Just look at the grass.
I am. Look over. I'll restore that.
You cannot get that image out of your head.
Oh my God.
So tell me what your favorite walk-up song is this year.
I got a two-way tie. I know that doesn't. Let's narrow it down. It's old too. It's from last year, but it's either Curiel or Jake
Curiel.
Brown.
I knew you were gonna say Curiel. I knew you.
The
Were.
And
Hips
it's
don't
not
lie.
the song. It's not the song for Curiel. It's what it turned into at the end of the year when
Yeah, the
everyone
moment.
pulls out the flashlights
Yeah, the moment.
on their phone and they it's so cool. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
And even
but,
Omaha not allowing him to come out to
oh yeah. But
What was
probably
the reason behind that?
it.
it was
Kanye.
Kanye.
I thought so. It's so
Yeah.
stupid. So mine is, of course, Zach York.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Big
I
Papa
love
is a
it
good
when
one.
you call me Big Papa. Throw your hands in the air. Use a true play. Oh, what? Yes, indeed. Of
Oh,
course.
100%.
Of
I'm gonna
course.
be unoriginal. I love Jake Brown's "The Hips Don't Lie." It kind of throws me off every
Yeah.
time I hear
Yeah.
it come on. I'm like, ah.
It's
But
just
mine's
so
a
Jake
tie.
Brown.
Yeah, because he's the dugout goof. He's the
Yeah.
dugout. He's the dugout guy. It's and like I like Curiel's because it calms him down and brings him kind of into that focus because usually you have a purpose. Jake is just like I'm gonna do what I've been doing since I was 5. But mine would be a tie between Seth Dardar, who I don't care, David. I'm the biggest Dardar fan. I am so far deep in on Dardar. It is crazy. I've been trying to find any way to make like a Panda Express relation thing to Dardar for the past 2 days and Milam. The only reason I say Milam song because I did not know those are the words to that song
Oh,
until
really?
I read the name of the song. I went, "Oh, that's a roll. Okay, I hear it now. Okay." I was just
Right.
hearing it's
Same,
techno.
same, same. I
It's
just heard the
techno.
melody.
I know
Yeah,
about that. I know about that song from Sing. I was that Sing too. It's the first one. The movie with
Sting.
Yeah, I missed the Sting
the
stuff.
animated movie.
Yeah,
I
my
think my
wife
kids
caught
are
all
too
the Sing.
young.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
kids are too
probably
young.
so. Probably
My
so.
wife caught
Yeah.
all the Sing stuff. I didn't catch it. I was
Yeah.
busy.
Do you know the Muffin Man, the
Yeah. Oh
Muffin
God.
Man, the
God
Muffin Man?
bless you.
Oh,
That's
you're in
my
my phase.
life right now.
I'm out on everything Drake. I'm sorry, I'm a Kendrick fan. Sue me.
That is 100%.
I would say going back to like the high school days, Daniel Hard and Soul Survivor was pretty good.
Oh, you took it off me, David. That's
Yeah.
exactly where I was going next.
I like it.
Soul Survivor was my 2. 100% Soul Survivor was my 2.
It's
I
good.
can play that anytime I hear that song. I'm stopping it and I'm letting it run. I
Yep.
What
can be
was
in.
your walk-up song, David?
We were boring. We didn't get them. We didn't get them. I was it was a bummer. I'll have to think for what it would be, but
I was in a weird phase back then. Not a weird phase. It was a great phase. I still love the music, but no, y'all won't know the song if I named it. But y'all remember the band 3 Days Grace? They had
yeah,
the
Yes.
song "I Hate
yeah.
Everything About You." They had a song called "Time of Dying."
Let them hate, La Cobra. Let them hate.
Let them. But they had a song called "Time of Dying." That had an awesome guitar riff in the beginning, and I was just like, I wanted that pump up when I walked to the plate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my wife is coming home. We're gonna wrap up, but before we do, I do have a big announcement for Monday's show. Um, First of all, I'm gonna try to get these two back on Friday for a post game. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit here offline.
you ain't
So
gotta
we can
try
see
with
and
me,
make some
cuz I already
work.
told you.
I already know we got to talk about this one here. But for Monday, got something major coming Monday. Immediately following AYS.
He's about to be too big for us, David.
Never. Never. Immediately following AYS. Come over to the channel. Got Blake Ruffino coming on as soon as his show ends. Come hang out with me and Blake. We're gonna chop it
Hell
up
yeah.
for a little while before he goes and tucks the kids in, and we're gonna talk about some life, some LSU, what it's like to be in this podcast business and seeing where things are going. So I wanted to break that with y'all here first. My boys been rocking with me from the start, so I wanted to share that with them and everybody that joined us in the chat tonight as well. Because y'all, if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't be doing these things. So I want to thank y'all for the support. It's been absolutely amazing. But the rent is still due, so the grind's not going to stop at all. We're going to keep pushing, keep making content, keep making things that y'all want to talk about because this is driven by y'all. We're building a community, legitimately. And like I told Paul earlier, I'm going to kick doors in wide enough so we all can walk through them, plain and simple. So we're going to do this thing together. We're going to rock. We're going to make sure that y'all are enjoying yourselves and y'all just a part of this as much as we are because we can't do it without y'all. So I hope that you guys enjoyed tonight. It's been amazing. Got a lot of great information. Your palates are set. You know what to expect going into Friday. And you know what to expect for this team in March, April, and where we should be even going into SEC play in the SEC tournament, which we want to skip. so much. So let's go rock. Let's go have a great season, and then we're gonna put together a post game show for Friday afternoon, early Friday evening. Let's do this. Love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Don't forget to go follow us on Twitter at Paul Jarrett 16, and go follow my boy David at DC Billiot Jr. Hit the button, subscribe, follow me as well. Y'all know where my stuff is. Hit us up. Let's keep doing this thing, and we will see y'all.
All glory to God, guys. God bless.
And
God
support
bless
your
y'all.
troops. Shout out, Paul.
Support your troops. Amen to that.
Pay my mortgage.